Hi, my name is Cedric Pearce. I'm an adjunct professor in the Department of Chemistry at the University of North Carolina in Greensboro. And for a number of years, I've taught a class on entrepreneurship for scientists. A couple of other things, which, by the way, was supported by the Coleman Foundation. I've also done a couple of other things with Coleman Foundation support. One was to develop a entrepreneurship for scientists workshop along with Professor Oberles of the chemistry department, and we've given the workshop now 3 times. The most recent time was in Mexico City at UNAM, and we had 30 students there, and the title of our workshop was Entrepreneurship and Natural Products, Early Stage Opportunities for Your Discoveries, and it was very successful. The other thing that I've done with Coleman Foundation money is set up, we made some videos of successful life science entrepreneurs. These videos are available on our new website, sci-ent.biz, and they are 2 videos that we made with. One was a startup situation which was bootstrapped, and the other was an early stage company that was supported by venture capital money and had a very successful outcome when the company was acquired for $650 million a few years after starting with less than $1 million and only a few employees. They're both examples, we think, to present to scientists for doing businesses. So why do we do this? The general statement that we use when we talk about science and entrepreneurship is that we believe entrepreneurship is an essential component for scientific progress in the academic, the private and the public sectors. And we define entrepreneurship as the ability to recognize new opportunities and unmet needs and making more of those opportunities than an average person would. And so that's how we do it. So the great thing about science is constantly exposed to new ideas, and especially research students who do PhDs and master's degrees, they come across new ideas. However, even though those ideas might be very suitable for development into new products of value, often the students themselves don't really have any idea how to take those forward. And so that's really one of the reasons that we try to do this entrepreneurship education, is to help the students work out ways of taking those ideas forward. We recognize that a PhD in chemistry is not the same as an MBA, and so one of the things we teach early on is the importance of working within teams, so bringing different expertises to the table. Basically the outline of the course we give first examples to encourage students, and one of the examples we use is Arnold Beckman, who when he was 15 years old started an analytical chemistry company in Illinois, in his hometown in Illinois, and he offered his services to gas companies to do analysis. Arnold Beckman, of course, was very successful. Later on, he was a chemistry student, a chemistry professor. He developed the first pH meter, and then subsequently went on to develop Beckman Instruments, which is a multi-billion-dollar concern. So that's one of the examples we use. We try to draw from scientists who the students might recognize to give them some encouragement. We spend quite a lot of time working on where ideas come from and also how to evaluate those ideas. And for that, we draw heavily on what might be available, for example, on TED Talks or recorded lectures of, for example, we used Oliver Smithies, who was a Nobel laureate in physiology or medicine a couple of years ago. We've used him as an example, and one of his lectures too, about where ideas came from. We talk a lot about teams, as I said. We think that's important. We also talk a lot about startup funding, because there is this vehicle in the United States called Small Business Innovation Research Grants. These typically are about $200,000 for 6 months, and they help take ideas forward. We're very familiar with this. We've had, in my company, we've had 5 of these in the past decade, and they've been an enormous help for us. As I said, we've taught the class at UNCG now 4 times. We typically have between 6 and 10 students, and I think one of the more exciting things from the class is usually we have at least one startup from the students during the class period. So that's what we do here in the chemistry department, and I appreciate your help. If anybody wants to contact me and ask me questions, I'll be happy to entertain those.